I like mushrooms, but I suspect they are not a vegetable. Please advise. It's mushroom soup season. Well, Victoria, I have never heard of mushroom soup season, but you're right. It is mushroom soup season because I'm about to tell you how great mushrooms are for your immune system, which is the perfect time now. Everyone's sick. I've had a lot of clients call me on the phone instead of come into the office because they're sick right now. So it's a great time to strengthen your immune system. To answer your specific question, do mushrooms count as vegetables? No, they're fungi. Mushrooms are not a vegetable at all. Do they have a lot of the same health benefits as vegetables? Yes, absolutely. They're great in antioxidants, super high in fiber, even relatively high in protein. That's what gives it that umami taste or that meaty taste, and why a lot of people who don't eat meat substitute mushrooms for meat, because it has the similar mouthfeel and also has a lot of the same protein benefits as meat. But the good antioxidant benefits as vegetables as well. So it depends on what you say when you say or what you mean when you say do they count. If you're just counting your servings of vegetables, you guys know I like to get at least 8 to 12 fist-sized servings of vegetables per day. Yeah, I would kind of say you can count them as vegetables. If it's some other way you're counting your vegetables, then you be the judge. They're not technically vegetables. They have a lot of good principles. They're very high in B vitamins, minerals, protein, fiber, anti-inflammatory. So a lot of us have inflammation chronic throughout our body, and we need to reduce that, whether you feel it or not. Some people don't feel the inflammation. Some people feel it in terms of puffy hands, arthritis, digestive system issues, bloating, headaches, things like that. But some people don't feel it at all. Even if you don't, you probably have inflammation, and mushrooms are very anti-inflammatory. Some mushrooms are also adaptogens, which is a really cool category of medicinal herbs and foods. And adaptogens adapt basically any kind of hormone balance, or correct any kind of hormone balance, let's say that. So an adaptogen for thyroid, if you have high thyroid hormone in your body, then the adaptogen would lower it to normal level. If you have low thyroid, then the adaptogen would raise it to a normal level. Mushrooms in particular are more adaptogenic for cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So many of the medicinal mushrooms are used to balance out stress, and I'll talk about what some of those are. My favorite mushroom is reishi. I've never actually eaten like a chunk of reishi vegetable or reishi mushroom, so I'm not really sure what it tastes like, but it's often in teas, it's in superfood blends, it's in capsules. I've taken reishi mushroom capsules before because it's really good for anxiety. You guys know I've experimented with a lot of supplements for anxiety, and reishi is a good one. Ashwagandha is not a mushroom, but that's another one I would recommend. It's good for mood, it's good for hormones, it's good for inflammation. So reishi is probably my number one. Shiitake is one of the ones that we cook with commonly. You can get shiitake in the grocery store, and that's really good for inflammation and aging. So cordyceps is another popular one to take as supplements. I don't know what a cordyceps mushroom looks like to cook with it, but you may be able to. That's really good for energy balance. Two more. The last one's going to surprise you. Oyster mushrooms are really good for joint pain. So oyster mushrooms kind of look white and skinny, and it's really hard to describe a mushroom. They look smaller than the button mushrooms, but like skinnier, but they're white as well. And those are really good for joint pain, and you can cook with those. And then the last one surprises everyone. White button mushrooms are really, really fantastic. Just the plain old mushrooms that you get in the grocery store. So white button mushrooms are really good for reducing inflammation. So any kind of mushrooms, I just highlighted some of my favorites. But yes, Victoria, I highly recommend eating mushrooms. And believe it or not, mushrooms are one of those foods like tomatoes where you absorb more of the nutrients. The nutrients become more bioavailable when they're cooked. So even though you can eat raw mushrooms, I would recommend cooking them.